Después lo cortamos. Okay. Good day, good afternoon.
Yeah, it's good
Gabriel.
after that already.
Thank you very much for welcoming us and giving us this meeting.
Okay. Yeah, no worries, man.
Today we are here to internalize about the business of games, and we have some question for you. If you can answer.
Yeah, yeah, that's that's why we're here.
Okay.
Go.
This is Riot Games.
Yeah.
What do they? What do they do as company?
All right. As a company, we do many things. One of that ones is of course creating games, but our main goal is to create games that define the genre, like a League of Legends, turn like MOBAs into a whole different level. When we talk about MOBAs, it's multiplayers online battle arena. We have many of these, but League of Legends certainly like level that up. We've been on the market like for like 7 years already, and we've been owning more than 50% of the market. So that's definitely something that defines the genre. That's kind of our goal. Each time we do something, it must change. It must create revolution or something.
Great.
What was the motivation for the creating the goal?
Okay, the goal itself are the players. We aim to provide players the more, like not just players, the hardcore players. These players that like to play the game constantly, that likes to get better, that likes to compete, that likes to do stuff. We want to bring the experience that they already wanted back in 2005 more or less when Dota came out. Like I used to play there, and I was part of the community already. So I was outside from Riot, but right away we noticed that the company wanted to provide like this kind of experience. The goal is like when you're playing something that comes from Riot, it's something different. So that's the whole idea of it. Like each time you get into a rank, it's similar to the game, to the previous game, but it's not the same. You see there are new challenges, new things to be done, to be achieved in each game you play, even if it's the same game. That's kind of the goal.
Okay. How many countries have the goal?
Okay. So basically, we have like different offices. Each office depends on which region it's located. It has different goals. So let's call it, for instance, if we are here in South America, we have like a marketing office, more or less. We want to tell stories to players. We want to bring content to player, but basically we are like a channel to bring back and forth content and feedback to a central office. That's actually the one that creates all the things. So we can say that we are all over the world right now, but basically we have this kind of strategic teams that only provides or do localization and content and marketing rather than another game and stuff like that. All that thing is like centralized in one point, which is in central in Los Angeles. Yeah, that's where.
When you will begin in Chile or South America?
Okay, it began like around the actually the project Latam started in Los Angeles, and then the team moved to Chile. But when the server was already here, there was no office. We were controlling all of that from Los Angeles, so the guys moved around like 2013, 14. This is our second year in this office, so I gotta say 3 years. So 2013, 14 is the time.
Okay. Um, I want to know what Riot offer to the consumer, to the players. Something apart about or something apart of the games. So what other services you offer
Okay,
to the people?
so basically, besides the game, we have like a lot of content in our website, which is related to publishing. It could be events. Like we have like this Fiesta de las Máscaras, Soy Lolero. We have Snowdown, Valentine, April Fools. We have many things that are really related to different cultures, and we want to bring that to everybody. Also, we provide player support, which is like for any of our products, we provide like a way to solve the problems that the product can cause, right? So player support right now, it's It's 24/7. It's the only region that
Mhm.
has that service. You can actually chat with an agent anytime if you have any issue, and he will try to troubleshoot it right away. So yeah, that's kind of what we do. We try to provide or to improve the service. We already bring it to players or to get these kind of fancy things that we do just for our local office. For instance, these two events, Fiesta de Máscaras and Soldero.
Okay.
These two were only for here. And yeah, and then we copy paste like events from outside.
Oh,
Yeah, that's kind of
okay.
what we do right now. Any other?
Me?
Yes.
Yes, I in my personal
Opinion?
opinion, I play LOL.
Okay.
I really fan of the game, and I like how create a community between the users.
Okay.
And you have so many so many uh, tournaments
Yeah,
and
tournaments, events,
yeah.
things.
You do something of that of it in this place in this super in,
Okay, so yeah, we do. Like, we basically, what we created is a few platforms where any player can create and drop its own, like, event. So if you're a player and you get into the tournament or event platform, you can actually create something for you guys and you can get prizes and stuff like that. That's,
okay.
that's a full automatized platform where players can actually interact. Let's say you're a community, you want to create an event, and you don't have how to give some juicy prize, right? So you create just a tournament there, and then the winner by default in all the brackets in the whole system, like it has like a few rewards for the first three spots. So basically, that's quite how we do it for small tournaments, and for big tournaments, yeah, we actually have the whole office planning on everything. Like for the final in Fruitier, we've been planning that like for far like 4 months before starting, and now like the next event we already started like past month. Yeah, as soon
Yeah.
as third year ended, we started planning our next event.
What is the difference between LOL in relationship with the other games
For example,
for,
Dota.
Okay.
or World WoW?
I don't think it's a game thing, like it's a company thing. I guess like the communities are just different. Like we don't we don't have a standard. Like we don't define ourselves or anything like that. We just like accept people and accept people that's eager to play league, and that's pretty much it. And I guess like we want to bring the best experience. That's all we want, right? So basically, I wouldn't say we have something different. I guess like we all want the same. We just have different strategies, and that might be something that players look differently, but they are basically the same. We all want players to be, of course, playing our game, having good matchmakings, having like, I don't know, getting good at it, seeing great tournaments, stuff like that. We want to populate the scene. That's the goal for everybody. But if you call it like the difference between Dota and League, personally, not like a Riot opinion, because we don't set difference and we don't compare to other companies. And I guess nobody does. That's actually something really tricky. But when it comes to games, it's just the experience. You cannot like tell how like the experience of League of Legends is for a player. A player, it depends on the player which experience he will have. For instance, if you're like a great player, you're gonna have like one of the best experience of your life. But if you're like a toxic player, oh man, then things are gonna get rough, right? And that happens in every single game. So that's kind of why we don't see like an actual difference where we can actually um, back it up with strong data and stuff like that. So yeah, and personally, for me playing Dota before playing League, it's like I feel like games like Dota are quite hardcore to start off. Like, yeah, let's call it like the curve to learn Dota. It's way harder than League of Legends. You have like multiple mechanics that are quite not enjoyable at the beginning, like losing goal when you lose, denies, I don't know, vision, how you buy items, where are the store located, how do you build team items, stuff like that. But thankfully, Dota did something like about guides and stuff like that. The user interface is way different. So right now it's not that hard to begin with. But yeah, back in the day, like 2005, it was a pain, man. Yeah, just fiddle along all day. Otra?
What do you think that is the main competitor of the LOL of LOL?
Main competitor? I think there's not such a a competitor like because right now we have like a lot of the market and that's not how it is supposed to be, right? So to define that we still have to wait like a few years to see if the market stabilized a little to see which are actual our competitors. I would say like in South America there's not that much because other companies are not investing too much money. As a player, I would say that before getting to Riot, I was noticing that. For instance, all the competitive scene for Blizzard it's on hold till next year. So you cannot call like like a like I don't know like rivals or something because actually we have like different games, different audiences, so we are not like actually sharing players. Probably like Blizzard is competing more with Counter Strike because they have like their main games are shooters or stuff like that. Like, but here in South America, I guess like League is what people play the most, and then you have like console games or random games you play with your friends. But that's pretty much it, and we are okay with that. We actually want players to play other games too. That's that's what we are in
Okay.
for.
I have a question. It's personally don't know too much about the market, but how a company like Riot Games can generate incomes to to Riot or
Okay.
how do you
Yeah,
afford that?
that's quite confusing because like we have like this kind of a free game
Yeah.
that's actually is free and you actually can earn free content through different quests and different things you do. And yeah, so basically what we do is like we create content that players are are able to pay for it and that's pretty much it. Like we sell that content.
Okay.
That's all of it. And yeah, most of the players um, we have like we don't have like just a league player. We have like players that like competitive. We have players that like the lore. We have players that like the skins. So there you go. Like different players get involved with things they really like. So for instance, if you're like you know you like to collect small figures and stuff like that, probably yeah you're gonna pay more like merch things rather than RP and stuff like that. Or
Okay.
probably you will have like that small figure there and also the skin in your account and things like that.
Okay.
So that's you see variations, but you don't see like a whole revenue like from players paying like a lot of RP and stuff like that. Yeah, no, I guess like most of the money comes from investors and the outside. It's not like comes
Okay.
from the player. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
it's not like, and I guess it's not something that I really know. You know,
Yeah.
that thing it's way above my
Okay.
my side.
This is a more personal question. What is the main champ? Your main champ?
Okay, that's a good one. Well, to be honest, I play like a lot of champions, most of them. Like since I've been playing Dota since 2005, it's been 12 years playing different champions, heroes. So yeah, but I like anything with mobility, like Lee Sin, Lucian, Bane, Tristana, Caitlyn, anything that has something to move around. That's my champ. If it doesn't have anything of that, I hardly be playing that.
And your favorite of
Um,
design or?
well, lately it's been leasing. Yeah, leasing is one of the most favorites.
Do you have a special strategy for the segments of customers, or for example, the segment of students.
Oh, yeah, well, definitely you have to identify which kind of players are you dealing with when you are constructing or dealing or creating a project. Let's say, for instance, I'm doing showcasting right now, so I'm creating like a project with all the casters to improve our level. So we can think, oh, we don't know nothing about the game, and we should like study a lot. But after like checking our audience, like players don't want to know more about the game. They just wanna, you know, have fun, like have a decent show, stuff like that. So actually, we have to improve in other stuff rather than the game. Like actually, 20% of the players think that we should improve our game knowledge, and 80% of the rest say, "Hey, you are speaking Spanish like a moron, improving that shit. You're using words that don't exist," and that's kind of the thing that the players are telling us. So basically, you notice that okay, it's esports, but the player actually doesn't want to know like a lot of the game. They just want to see something decent. Like, okay, that's a fair enough explanation. That guy knows how to explain something rather than, knowing how it works. Because sometimes you know how to do it, but not actually how to explain it. So basically, when you're in a project or something, identifying where are you aiming to, its core, and that defines the strategy, right? So, for instance, for colleague, okay, you have to understand that's our players that actually are doing like a career in an university. They don't have much time, so you have to know when are the exams, when like finals come. So you cannot put like extra things above on top of that. So basically, it it really depends. And the main goal is like to bring the best experience through identifying exactly where you're aiming to, and also to avoid like these kind of issues. Like okay, imagine that I don't know. Next month we start like doing this show, and we are like the best expert of League of Legends, but we are really boring. So if it's boring, people won't watch it, even if we are gurus of League of Legends. So yeah, and basically the same. If we have ULOL, and probably we put all the events and stuff like that in times where nobody can actually do something and stuff, nobody will participate from that. So you have to take in concern and think that you are not like dealing just with players. It's a human. He has like other responsibilities, stuff like that. You have to fit the content for them. That's why it feels so natural. Oh, I'm gonna play a game. You sit down and you see new skins, new things, a random map, 3v3. You have on your weekend different, I don't know, custom maps, stuff like that. That's kind of the deal. That's why that's why we patch on Wednesday. That's why we do maintenance on Monday. That's why we do all the things between the week, and during weekends we try to be the more stable we can. For instance, that's another project you see patching. But
No, I think that's
I think
That's
that's
it.
questions.
yeah.
Yes.
We are. Thank you so much to receive us.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
Okay, Gabriel, thank you
Have
very
fun.
much.
¿Tienen una notita? ¿Conocer?
Sí,
Yeah.
sí, 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 sí.